think I was recording. Okay. So what, anyway, hold on, let me get this straightened out. I've got these all done. The wire work is on or inlaid, embedded, and you can see it's, see if I can give you up a, whoa, okay. I have to back up a little bit. It's all inlaid in that little bit of a line between the two pieces of glass. So really, each one has got their 16 gauge pre-tinned wire on them now. They're done. I got a iron off of eBay. They cost me about $10, $11. Some could be more. I wouldn't spend more. They're not the best iron in the world. I like it because of the chisel tip. It's somewhat of a workhorse. I mean, I use it until they're just junk, and then I throw them away and buy a new one. Usually one will last me about a year, and I'll buy another one, and it's exactly the same, and it comes with exactly the same thing. I get a multitude of tips. Do I use the other tips? Not so much. I have my ones that I use for my decorative soldering. There are a few new ones that I've been messing with for new designs, and they will be something of interest maybe to some of you new ones. I do sell DVDs. I have a 9-hour DVD. It's a set of 3, and you can play it in your DVD player if you still have one. I know I'm old school. Or a CD drive on your laptop if you still have one with a CD drive. If not, you can buy an external DVD drive that it can play on your computer. So, and they're like maybe $20. I mean, they're not really expensive. And then that can play all my DVDs. I can also I do the YouTube videos, and then I've got another DVD that's the advanced set on decorative soldering, and that one actually it's called number 4. It's a 2-disc set, and it gets into a lot of other really cool designs that I came up with. And but the first one, you really need the basics, and then it's a prelude to DVD number 4. So let's get started, see what I can do. I started my iron, this little tiny iron, at 274. Let's get started. If it's too hot or too cold, I will turn it up or turn it down. It's 60-40. Once again, Eagle brand solder. And you're going to have to wear gloves because the piece gets hot. And we're still going to use a Q-tip for the flux, for flux purposes. And let's see what we can come up with. Let's see. Let's see here. Holiday times make me crazy. Got too much stuff on my... I don't even know why I'm doing this right now because got orders. Well, this is an order, so I'm making the best use of my order right here. So, yep, 274 is working out pretty good. I'm actually tapping my glass. You can't hear it. But you can see me doing it, and it's making this little this cool little ridgy line that I like. You just add a little bit of solder, not a lot. To your piece. And you can see that it makes this little tiny like feather-like line. And that's what I want. And you can see how that's working across there. It's giving it a texture, really cool texture. And I'll probably go over it several times to get what I want. And you can do that. I can go over this several times to get more or less of the texture that I want. But you can definitely see that it gives it the old world look, and when you patina it looks really neat because it really gets down into those cracks and crevices and makes it look just very vintage and old. Goes really well with the picture. Once again, use my Q-tip. And we're gonna take, and I just barely tin the tip of this. My iron's a little hot. I've always said if it's blue, black, green, gold, your iron's too hot, turn it down. So I'm going to turn it down just a couple degrees because I don't want to bring up all the impurities of the solder. And you get those little black flecks in there, and then that's a mess. Then you go to clean it off, and then you got pits, and bleh. Yeah, we don't want that. You don't want to have the pits. So I'm going to go around this piece. And you can see me, I'm just tapping it to make this really pretty design here. I'm going to go around again. And this is really just a technique, and you can just work on it. I mean, it's just, there's no, you do it your way. I'm going to say that again. Do it your way. If you like it, excuse me, you like to use your bigger iron, or that's all you have, the lines are going to be a little wider, a little more spread out. That's fine. That's okay. This is just how I do it. I'm not expecting everybody to do it just the way I do it, but I'm just teaching you how to do it, okay? Doesn't say you have to do something with this iron or something with that iron. See, I can go back and forth. I can do this. I just love messing with, well, I guess it's you guys know I like messing with solder because I do it all the time. See, see, there's a really neat design going on there. It just is kind of old school looking. I'm just taking enough of that solder off. I don't want to get too much on there. I just want to get enough that so I can make my design. Now, if it gets too hot, your design is going to melt into each other. So I'm at 271 now with that little iron. You make it get it too cool, and you won't be able to melt it. So we're going to definitely make sure we can melt it, get it to that melting point that it needs to be. And if it looks like it's not working, then you need to get away from it because your glass is too hot. My glass is just really hot right now, and then it's not making the design I want. But it definitely is giving it a design, as you can see. As my iron gets hotter, it's doing what it wants, and I'm going to keep turning it down until I'm comfortable where the melting point is, where it will still create my designs without melting everything around it. Okay. I'm at 269 right now as I continue. It's pretty nice that these little irons don't cost very much with an onboard thermostat. you could probably use your other iron and buy a smaller tip, but I figured I don't like messing with it if I don't have to. I hate breaking that ceramic core if one gets seized on there, even though I use stuff to keep it from seizing on there. You don't have to tell me. Never seize, whatever, you know, or taking it off and on, you know, so it doesn't get that way. And I don't know how many of us really truly do what we're supposed to do. We're artists. We don't think about all of that stuff. Okay, yeah, it's making nice little patterns in the solder, as you can see. I'm just kind of going back and forth and do anything I want. I'm an adult. And there, it's very pretty. I like that. So there you go. You got that now. See if I can zoom in without it getting too blurry. That's the design it made. Gives it a really kind of a really neat kind of a design. But I'm going to put some little dots around this edge right here. And that's why this tip is so good, because it's so little. I have a sponge. And I'm going to zoom out again. I hate to do that to you guys, but it's just too hard. It's too blurry. Take just a little bit on that tip. Just a little. So little. Because if you put a bunch of solder on there, then your solder drop will be huge. And if it's not enough, you can always go back and hit it again, okay? So let's just get started. You can usually get 2 dots out of 1 swipe. Okay. Very small. I'm hitting the glass also. Remember, very little on your iron. But you still want it to have a little bit of a hump on there. So you don't want it flat. You want a little raised dot. So you definitely got to get a little bit on your iron to get that little raised dot. The raised dot is what gives you that personality. That's there we go. It almost is like a little just pearled bead around this edge, which makes it really pretty. Always hold my breath. Don't ask me why. It's kind of it's a habit. Somebody says, how did you get your hands so steady? I said, I hold my breath. I don't know that it makes a difference, but it does for me. I don't drink coffee. I thought when I turned 63, I was going to be one of those coffee drinkers. Got to go to this place because they serve coffee and go to that place because they serve coffee. Apparently, I told myself that when I grew up, I was going to like coffee. Well, apparently I haven't grown up yet because I still don't like coffee. But for all those people that was born in the 60s and 70s, the one thing I did love about coffee was opening the can. And then it would go psh, and then you'd smell this aroma of coffee. Oh my gosh, it smelled so good. But to drink it, not so much. I still like hot chocolate toast. That I like. I know I'm a sissy. I don't like my mouth hot, and I don't like the bitterness of coffee. I like the smell of it though. Okay, so You can see those little tiny dots all the way around. If you don't like one, go back, fix it. Not a biggie. So I'm going to get this clean. You can see it better. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Cleaning is major. Major. I can't stress. Well, look how shiny mine is. Because have you seen me wait for hours before I cleaned it? Or like, oh, I'm going to finish this piece and then I'll clean it? No, I clean it all the time. So you wouldn't even have to patina it if you didn't want to. But you know how you don't clean it and it gets this real dull kind of a look? Yeah. Do I have that? No, I don't have that dull look at all, which is nice. I do like the little dots around it. That's pretty cool. I'm going to go on the back and we're going to give it a different dot. We're going to give it a little fuller dot to make this more raised. So that means you've got to put a little bit more on your iron. So on my iron, I'm going to take almost a tip full. Just come down, fill your tip, and put it over. You're only going to get one dot out of each one that you do. Now we're totally building up that line, which that's what you want because you got that raw edge of the copper foil right there. Let's get that filled up so it's nice and smooth. And yes, I know, this is a huge no-no. I'm telling on myself, I'll go throw myself under the bus. Copper foil, when you have a reflection or a clear glass, is a no-no unless you're going to patina it copper. If you can see the copper, you should patina it copper. I am not going to patina it copper. I'm going to patina it black. And the reason I don't have black is because when I bought this wider foil, they only gave it to me in this size, or in this color, is copper back foil. I did look for black back, but they didn't have it. So I was at the mercy of just sucking it up and going, okay, well, I'll just take this. It's okay. I'm not crying about it. It's just something that bothers me more than it bothers anybody else because they just like that they have this keepsake that they can wear and they're not looking at that copper situation like we do because we got the trained eye. They don't. So it just bothers me. When you're a teacher, you teach these things and you say, if you can see through it, whatever, if you can see through it or there's a reflection of your back of your foil, make sure it's the color of the back of your foil, your patina. Don't do it the other way because it's just going to look icky. Icky. Okay. Almost around. Okay. This is a customer that I've had before. Super sweet lady. She lost her mom in April. She was 90 some years old. I was like, oh my goodness, as she led this fantastic life. She was with her daughter at an auction. And then she went home, went to sleep, and she didn't wake up, which I always think is a blessing for those of us who had to watch loved ones suffer. But I tell you what, she had been in my shop, I don't know, so many times, and every time she came in, she wanted a new pendant of either her husband or one of the girls or whatever, and she actually had all of her necklaces that I made her on when she was buried, which was just, I don't know how to express how that makes you feel as an artist, but she loved those pieces so much that she ended up being buried with them. I just thought, wow, that's such a compliment anyway. Okay, so you got to see how I did the little dots, how I did the wire in here. Gave this a real nice finish on the back. Kind of cool. I'm just going to do a little eyelet up at the top and string it with probably a black silk cord. And yeah, I will be done. And I think I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Always learning something new every day. Oh, I said I was going to put forget-me-nots on that, didn't I? I don't know what I'm going to do. I might do that yet, but if I do, I'll post it. I'll make a small video on one of the other 2 pieces I still have left to do. And, you'll get to see it on this YouTube page, okay? Thank you for watching. This is Julie Feigin from the Glass Garden Workshop. Leave your comments in the section below. If you want to email me, my address is glassgardenworkshop@gmail.com, all lowercase. And hope to talk to you soon. All right. Thanks. Bye.